So I was a little confused about this one, but so it says So we have sources that Microsoft leaked a PS5 Slim.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about that at all?
Yeah, Microsoft leaked it through the documents and FTC case. So it's literally in the document saying like they have like leak descriptions of the Slim for the PlayStation.
Like Microsoft has access to like their blueprints, Sony's blueprints of the.
They probably had to They probably had to relinquish a lot of that information during the court case to make their point against Microsoft buying Activision. So that's probably how they have access to it.
Yeah, it was during the court case or the FTC case where they had like a leaked document describing like the details of how it's going to be and like because it's also like a mock-up on Twitter that's going around where it's showing like you can remove the disk drive as well
I'm guessing this is the legal document right there.
Right.
It says, filed the June 22nd of 2023. It says PlayStation likewise sells a less expensive digital edition for $399, and it is expected to release a PlayStation 5 Slim later this year at the same reduced price point.
Wait, why? If it's going to be the same price, what's the point?
I have no idea.
Because people will buy it because they're idiots.
Yeah, but if you think about it,
are there actual specs on this? Like,
it's probably the same specs, just without
probably like we said before, probably more memory and probably like the fact like it's probably increasing like 8K and shit. It's probably trying to push that more.
Yeah, but 8K,
I know.
I don't see 8K.
That's what I think we talked about that before. 8K, like the TVs aren't all in 8K yet.
Yeah,
like it's hard to get TV.
So then what else? So then what else can they really?
That was the push. Yeah, that was the question that we were all trying to, we're scratching our heads on.
And it's also saying that like you can like mod it more, like remove the hard drive and like make more space into it and whatnot.
But they could do that with the regular PS5 though.
No, I think what you were saying was it's a removable disk drive.
Yeah, like the move the disk drive too. Like it's like more moddable basically, like the way it's going to be modeled.
So why would you want to remove a disk drive?
What the dog doing?
I figure out why the hell would you want to do that?
I'm guessing.
I know Aaron's like, oh, listen, man.
I don't fucking know.
The disc, man. Nothing can look. That's nostalgia for you.
Well, I guess it's to like make space. Like if you're not using the disk drive, you take it out and then you can, store it somewhere smaller. And then if you have a game, you can plug it in, which is kind of stupid though. Because if you think about it, we got the digital version. I have the digital edition, and that's already slimmer than the disk drive version.
Right.
Right.
So I don't understand. And as far as memory, we can just remove the panel on the side and just put an SSD inside.
Right.
I don't know. What else can they bring to the table?
I'm guessing
they can bring proper 4K and ray tracing.
But they could do that through update.
That's a whole pro model then. That's not a Slim.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different PS5 at that point.
And why would they price that at the same as the digital version? That's
because it's now cheaper. It's now cheaper to manufacture those units now, most likely.
I think the real big question is why the hell does Xbox care?
Because did you hear, Nick? They're fucking losing. They're getting their asses handed to them. That's why they gotta be all up in the business.
So you're over here sending your fucking minions or some shit to go get the scoop on like the other companies? Like, come on, bro.
Yo, there was people on Twitter talking about literally following the judge who was presiding over the case, following her everyday life. It was getting out of hand. That's how bad it was.
That's crazy. That's a nice level to council wars. Like what the hell?
Yeah, they knew what this woman ate, what she wore on a daily basis, how many kids she had.
What the hell?
They knew everything.
Yeah, because it was also like recently, and like I believe in like Europe and like other regions outside of the US, they dropped the price to like the digital version of the PlayStation 5. So I think that's another reason why I guess they priced it at that, because it's going to be a similar price. I guess that's like their range of what they're going to price it at going forward.
Most likely. I can imagine it don't cost much to begin with to make like a slim model or a diskless base model. So honestly, I can see them keeping it at that price, and then eventually the hard drive, the one with the disk drive, will be lower in price as well soon. So man, this is just my thoughts anyway.
Right.
Yeah, doesn't that kind of like raise suspicion as far as like if they're going to lower the price for the disc version too? That means there's going to be a pro version later.
Of course, there's going to be a pro version later.
How about
Don't
this?
you see?
How about we just skip all this and just go to PS6? I think that would be the best.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys heard too. They said it's gonna be even farther down the line for the PS6 recently news, or if it's
Was
going
it
to come out,
pushed?
yeah, like farther down, like 2028.
Jesus Christ.
So
Well, that kind of gives
28 for
It gives you plenty of time to enjoy this generation.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
what I
is what I'm talking about. Now that we know that if that information is 100% true,
right.
and we have that lifespan now, that means that these developers can actually push the fucking power of these consoles finally. Like,
Right.
actually push it, and we can actually experience what this console can do.
Right.
Stop giving us 30 frames per second fucking Redfall. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Well, on that case, on the Redfall case, that's just them assholes being bad developers, I think, on that one.
Well, then what about Starfield? Why is that 30
No,
frames?
Starfield is no, you're right on Starfield. On that one, that's just too expensive. There's no way that you got a game PC. There's no way that was going to be 60 frames per second on a damn console. Not something that plug into a wall and that has to cost $500. Like hell no, I'm not getting 60 per second.
Yeah, no, but that's not true because like that shit might be 60 on the fucking Steam Deck.
Hey, it's the Steam Deck.
It could be,
Steam
but
Deck
then
is
you're gonna
very
have to.
moddable.
Yeah, but if you have 60 on the Steam Deck, you still gotta lower those textures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
so it's not gonna look as pretty.
It still doesn't make sense for that shit to be able to push more frame rates than an actual console.
You think
That's-
not?
but
How much is the Steam Deck? How much is the Steam Deck?
Well, I got mine for like 3 something.
I was about to say, I think it's like,
with
All right.
with taxes, it was like 410 or something like that.
yeah.
How about you, Mir? How much is your Steam Deck?
It was the same price. I had
Same price.
Yeah, we got the same one. We got the same one.
But you gotta fuck with the settings for it to get a
If
stable
it's
60, right?
if it's not verified, yes, you have to tweak the graphic settings. But if it's verified, they automatically already set the graphic settings to where it'll have the highest performance for you.
What's the
And they're going to do that for this. They're going to do that for stuff.
Yeah, they will. What's the console equivalent of a Steam Deck? What's it comparable to? A Series S or an X? What's it more closer to? Just tech wise.
Serious.
It's-
It depends,
I think
I was about to
it depends on because some games run really good. Like I've played games on the Steam Deck that run better than games that run on the PS5.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right. Okay.
So think of it, Ramir, just if you want to, I don't know if you agree with me, but think of it as more powerful than a PS4, but less powerful than a PlayStation 5.
All right. So
It's like right in between there.
It's a Series S basically.
No, because the Series S isn't that the same shit? It's pretty close to a PS5, ain't it?
Right.
It's just a slim version.
It's close enough to PS5. It doesn't quite match its output.
If it doesn't match PS5, then yes, it's more like a Series S. Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But sometimes the Steam Deck does push a little bit more than the Series S.
Yeah.
Is what that's the point that Ramir was trying to get by. Like some games just it depends on how much of the game, how graphically intense and stuff it is. So, but I would say most of the verified games, like I would say like 90% of verified games always push like between 57 to 60 frames.
Yeah.
All right. Well. All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's a $500 console. You're not running Starfield with like 1,000 players, quote unquote, at 60. You're not doing that.
Well,
honestly,
yeah, but I don't believe that because there's bro. If anything, Starfield is a huge fucking influence from. It takes a lot of influence from Destiny. Destiny is almost like Starfield. In a way of like being able to open like an open world, exploring different planets, and in terms of like this huge ecosystem. Like Destiny, I think Destiny. Well, I don't think Destiny 1 was 60, but I think Destiny 2 now is 60.
60. Destiny 1 definitely wasn't 60. Destiny 2 maybe 60.
Today it is 60.
Yeah. Maybe not at launch, but like
not at launch, but all
now,
the updates and stuff.
And stuff. Mm-hmm. It's definitely 60.
Yeah, but a Slim, obviously, PS5 Slim obviously offers. I'm gonna going on the side of it just being a Slim. It's not a Pro. It's nothing like that. It's just a cheaper model because the parts are cheaper to produce and make now. That's all I'm airing on that one.
Well,
it's not going to be strong enough.
It's just to make more room.
My question is that now that I guess since Sony knows that this is leaked, you still think they're gonna pull forward with this?
Of course they.
Yeah. I agree with Aaron. Of course they're gonna keep going through it, but I feel like they might change something to surprise us. It might be something very small, but it's gonna be like something stupid. I bet because they had like every PlayStation we had, every like generation, it was always like you have the stronger one, you have the less stronger one, and then you have the worst one.
Right.
So they do that every time, and so does Xbox. They do the same shit.
I'll wait till the.
I do think they need to include like I'm taking it up a notch. They need to include 3 terabytes. Cause a terabyte goes fast nowadays.
But again, that goes back to you could just open up the fucking thing and put a 3 terabyte SSD card an SSD.
No, you're right. But just for people who don't have the option to do that right out the gate and have a lot of games.
Or don't know how to do that.
You're talking about like internal, like not external.
Just include some more storage. Just overall. Don't be a Nintendo and give us 32 gigs of storage, which is Zelda alone eats that up.
And then try to sell us a $60 fucking 128 gigabyte SSD that don't work sometimes.
It must be a reason though why you can remove the disk drive. Like I don't see the sensibility of doing that. I'm wondering if you can like replace it with it.
I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a gimmick with this their version of their PS5 Slim.
Yeah,
there's got to be something that we're not getting yet.
Right. Because it's a picture of him on Twitter too.
Like, what's the point of the detachable? Like, just make the shit with fucking 1,000 fucking terabytes or whatever. Like,
1,000 terabytes. That's a lot.
Yeah, 1,000 terabytes is a lot, man.
Not 1,000, but you know what I mean. Like a realistic good amount of size. Like just give it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it.
So I do want to ask, right? So like, so if this was to happen, right, a PS5 Slim. So do you guys care more about frame rate so like what should be more important, like for first party games to always hit 60 FPS, or should the expectation that every game, including third party, should always be 60 FPS? Because me personally, I don't care. Like if third parties aren't always 60 FPS, I'd be more upset if the first party games aren't 60 FPS.
Right.
Because this is your party, this is your studio, this is your console. You guys should have the correct hardware to make sure everything is perfect for this game.
Now, that should be set standard going forward.
Yeah. Now, first of all, let's start with these new generation consoles. They quote unquote haven't pushed the power of these consoles yet. So
I'm tired of hearing that bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the fact that like, what's the problem that? Yes, I agree with you. I would rather pick frames than graphics, but these new consoles push the fucking power to it and be able to do both graphics and fucking frames. You know what I mean? Because like, what else are you gonna do? Like, what are we waiting for you guys to give us graphics?
Well, a lot of times, apparently, from what people tell me and my other developer friend, is that it's a money situation and a time situation. A lot of times, these companies, these publishers don't give them the right amount of funds to be able to have like the highest tech in regards to developing games, and they aren't given the amount of time to develop them either. You know what I mean? When EA wants the next Star Wars game to be out by so and so in time for the next movie, you know, they don't really give a shit how much time you gotta take. They're like, yeah, get that Star Wars game out immediately. Line my pockets. I want to go on a cruise this year or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So,
all right. Well, that kind of goes with like, talk to the people who are making the movies versus making the games. Time it right. That way you can span out that time. Be like, all right, we're gonna make this game right. We're gonna give you graphics and frames in this time frame to meet up with the movie time frame. We let the movie out before or after that game, whatever the case may be, whatever situation they have. Like there's got to be a way for them to work it out.
That's just one. That's just one thing I'm saying. The other thing is also that a lot of times they want to have that game out before the fiscal year is over to net in as many profits as possible.
Because they're fucking greedy, and it's never never a money issue. It should never be a money issue. These game developers and the gaming industry is just like ridiculous with how much money they should have already at this point.